Hi, this is Peter the Heart's Clairvoyant here, and I'm doing your weekly psychic reading here for April the 20th to the 26th. So let's see what's ahead of you for this week. So I get the feeling some of you are feeling like a little bit kind of drained and run down. It's almost like you feel like you lost your will to move forward and to focus on things. Like things are just generally kind of getting you down a little bit, and it just seems to be naturally draining your energy. Like you feel so you haven't got the motivation to do this, to do that, to set your goals, to focus on what you feel so you should be doing. And then that sets the sort of energy moving forward and brings you down even more. And it's difficult sometimes to get out of that. It's like being stuck in a rut, if you know what I mean. But I feel like, don't worry, this energy is going to pass. It's short term. But what I will say is about it is making you refocus what you're doing and how you're going about things, because some things that are connected to this that you are doing or connecting with, and it's sort of kind of emphasizing it a little bit. So look what blockages are around you at the moment, or what maybe you're not doing quite right. You should change things or mix things up a little bit, or just look at things differently. But then sometimes you've also got to give yourself a bit of a wake up call and say, look, you can't keep getting down with everything. Not everything can be perfect all the time. So we've got to keep pushing forward. We've got to have a little bit of optimism. Got to put a smile on our face. So in other words, don't worry too much. Easier said than done, isn't it, sometimes? But I feel like if you can overcome that kind of energy mentally and physically, and just do your best to look after yourself a little bit and stay positive and set some kind of routine, I feel like you'll break through this negative kind of barrier that you're in. It's just going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of sorting out, and a little bit of will and motivation. And I would say perhaps maybe the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be the real telltale signs to get things sorted and focused. And then as you do that, that will be quite good and quite positive. So let's just say onwards and upwards, so to speak, moving forward. Now, I feel like I've got you also looking at your careers at the moment. And I feel like this is a good thing to do. You need to perhaps reevaluate what you're doing and where you're kind of going and heading. And as you do that, you're going to be looking at where you're at, as if to say, do you want to stay put where you are? Some of you will, but you're going to try and sort of spruce it up a little bit, make it feel a bit better. I even feel you going to work with perhaps new uniform, new suit, new clothes, just sort of sprucing yourself up, maybe going in a bit cleaner, a bit fresher, and just making yourself look good. I mean, some of you may have to wear a work uniform and it gets dirty quite quickly, and that's just the nature of the beast, so to speak. But it doesn't mean you can't go out and buy some new ones to change those old ragged torn clothes. You know, if you're wearing suits, you might just treat yourself to a new one, to a fresher look, more modern look. And if you can just go normally dressed like this, then maybe you're going to buy some different sort of clothes and just brighten yourself up, some new shoes or trainers if you're allowed to go work in them, maybe a different haircut, maybe you're going to sort of pamper yourself in some kind of way to freshen up your skin, your look a little bit, and how you feel. And all these things can have a positive impact on you and your work energy. And it's a bit like that. Remember that feel when you go out and just buy a new pair of shoes, how good you feel. And it's that kind of energy coming in where you're refreshing yourself. So I just think, brilliant. Why not? Go for it. I feel like it could be the best thing you ever do. But then for some of you, you are going to be thinking, do you know what though? Yeah, that's all well and good, but I am really not very happy with my job and I want to change. So go out there and change. Don't keep holding on to things. Look for something new to come in and see what's out there, and maybe look in different places to find this job, because sometimes you've got to sort of look elsewhere. You could be missing something quite important. Maybe jobs don't always advertise in the job centre no more, or not the paper. It could be social media, or it could be word of mouth. So look for different paths, different opportunities. And eventually you'll find that job and you can go in there and you can have your fresh start and a new beginning. And I feel this energy, where it's refreshing yourself, changing your job, it's going to bring more income in for you in the long run. So I feel so that's good. And not only that, when you're more energized, you tend to have that ability to sort of work more, work harder, so you get noticed, and hopefully that gives you a bump up in pay. And I just feel like these things are very, very possible. So get yourself out there, see what you can do. When it comes to relationships, a little bit, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. For those of you who are single, I just feel as though you're starting to look what's out there for yourself. And it isn't always easy to find a partner, a potential partner, but I just feel so don't pressure yourself. Don't put a time frame on to get it. Just do good things about yourself. Look after yourself. Give yourself that positive outlook. And then as you give you that positive outlook and you make yourself feel better, it will shine outwards and it will naturally attract positive people towards you. And I feel like as you do that, you'll start to meet some interesting new connections and people, and these could be possible openings for you to connect with somebody special coming into your life. I get the feeling the sort of month of May is quite interesting, the month of July, the month of August, and September. And I feel as though those are great times for bringing new connections into your life. So let's just see where all that kind of goes and unfolds. For some of you, there's one or two people around you now, but it's almost like they're playing hard to get a little bit. Maybe that's a bit harsh the way I'm saying that, but it's like they're not rushing into a relationship. They are intrigued about you, but they're just sort of analysing you a little bit. So you're just going to have to be a bit patient. So don't get moody with them. Don't get sort of negative with them. Just keep being your pleasant self towards them. And eventually you will draw them in. But you've just got to be patient. And that's all it is. For those of you that are connected with someone, I still feel this kind of up and down energy. It's not like you're in a bad place, but it's not like you're in a great place neither. And I feel like all you can do there is just, again, focus on yourself a little bit. But obviously do acknowledge the person that's around you and do think about them as well. And I feel like try and sort of plan things for the future a little bit. I don't feel like as if to say you're already in a place that's going to break up, but I do get the feeling you're in a place where it's like you're not always being there for each other in the right way, or maybe you are, but it's not coming across that way. So I feel like tidy up your communication, tidy up the way you connect with people around you, and just try to be positive. And don't just think about yourself when you're down, think about them. And it's easier said than done sometimes when we're not feeling great ourselves, but even a little compliment can go a long, long way. So see what you can do there. Think of others beside yourself, and I feel like that could improve connections around you. And as long term goes by, if that doesn't quite work, then maybe you have got to think, is this really working? Do I need a fresh start? Do I want a new beginning? But I feel like that will be only one or two out of you, out of so many. So I feel as though that's the way you've got to look at things. So generally, it is a bit of a funny period at the moment for this week. And I feel like this kind of energy will probably carry out until the end of the month. But that doesn't mean it's all going to be bad and negative. We've just got to adapt and change and move forward and try as best to lift his energy up and look to the future with a little bit of optimism. And like I said, easier said than done, but it doesn't mean it can't be done or achieved. Just because everything's dark around us doesn't mean we've got to be dark. We have to see through the darkness, reach for the light, and gradually it will pull us towards it. But if we keep thinking dark and negative, then that's what will pull us in. So think of the light, not the darkness, and that will help you tremendously. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I really do wish you well. And if this is sort of really drawn to you and you want more sort of in-depth reading of what's going on around you and moving forward in your life in the future in different areas of your life, then perhaps book a private reading with me. And what I'll do for you is I will give you a discount code on my website. So my website is spirituallyguideme.co.uk. And when you go to the checkout, put welcome back into it. So welcome space back. And then as you put that in, it will give you a 25% discount code to help you out a little bit there. So I wish you well. I wish you all the best. And I really do hope that things do calm down. You put yourself in a better place, and bit by bit,